What's up, everybody? Welcome to Podcast Now. I'm Alex. In this video, I want to talk about Rocksteady's mysterious game. I kind of want to just have an open discussion. To be honest, I'll start out this video very honest with you guys. I don't know what specifically I'm going to be titling this, going into this recording. I hope that while I'm just rambling for 10 minutes, that I'm able to figure out the title. But I do have a kind of a path of what I want to talk about. Firstly, I want to talk about is this game is seemingly, when Jason Schreier announced, and he did, he truly, like I say he announced, I say he confirmed it, and I understand it's not Warner Bros. Doing it. It's a game journalist, right? At the same time, we've talked about Jason Schreier in the past. He's the top dog, okay? Again, I don't agree with him on anything but his breaking news of games, but there's no way of arguing around it. He is the top dog. I find it funny, just as like a funny side note, like when he said, like, hey, this is news, Warner Bros. Was going to do this at E3, and now we don't know what's coming now, but they were going to announce, and I like the order, and we talked about this in past videos. I like the order he put in it, and he put it in, and I like the fact that he never said the game. Batman, Harry Potter, Rocksteady's new game. And I feel like Rocksteady's new game is getting literally, and I do mean literally, the least attention out of the three. And that's kind of what I want to center this focus on, because what I think is most interesting is truly that game can be like the shining star. That game can literally outshine the other two. Now, I've had people ask me on Discord, like, which would you actually be looking more forward to, Batman or Harry Potter? And I think that's a real, and I answered it. I'm not going to tell you. You guys will have to join the Discord to see what I said. But I do want to make that a video one day, too. Once these games are, like, fully announced, fully revealed, I'd like to have, like, a thing going into them, like, which game, am I most anticipating? And then when they come out, which game was ultimately better, or which game did I enjoy? That's a better way of saying it. Which game did I enjoy more? The question, too, is let's throw Rocksteady's game in there because, again, literally the order Jason Schreier put it, I feel and I believe is kind of the order of, like, people that are anticipating it, or, like, kind of like the news or, like, the eyes that are watching these properties. He put them in that order because Batman is that biggest one. It's been around for the longest time. It's got the most controversy. Can you say that? It's got the most, like, things just revolving around it. And then you have Harry Potter, a game that was long been talked about, and even I talked about it before Batman. I would have probably considered for a little bit, for a couple months, I would have considered ourselves more, in the Harry Potter boat of video making than Batman. And once it got to August, it was very clear. But I continue talking about Harry Potter throughout this entire thing. I think I've probably been the most consistent on it and been the biggest supporter of it on YouTube. I truly would make that statement. And I'm happy that I was able to do that, and I can't wait to talk about it more. But so again, like, and you even have me just talking about that just right now, right? So clearly, like, the eyes are on those two games, and you have IGN running videos and things talking about, like, hey, this Harry Potter game, like, it's seemingly real. And again, funny that they jump on it and then they leave it for 2 years and then they come back to it. I guess a year and a half, right? But it's just funny how gaming journalists and even YouTubers themselves, how they do that, where I don't want to be that, and I've always tried to make that message clear to you guys. But Rocksteady's game is that third one. And again, I find it funny that he didn't say what the game is. Obviously, he knows. I will tell you, he knows pretty much everything that's going on in the gaming industry, whether or not he says it or not. But he's very well informed, and he knew about this Batman game a long time ago. He knew about this Harry Potter game a long time ago. I think there are people in the gaming industry that know what Rocksteady's game is. What I find the most interesting is that's the one that, like, you cannot say it. Rocksteady's new game, and everybody's saying that. Everybody's saying Rocksteady's new game. If it was Justice League, and it could be Justice League, but he's not going to say it. He's not going to say and Rocksteady's Justice League game, which he very well could have, but he didn't, or Suicide Squad, or whatever it is. I just find it funny that they always exclude what that game is, and again, I think we've talked about this. I feel that it's definitely a thing coming from Warner Bros. Or Rocksteady, where it's like, hey, we'll give you some info, we'll let you leak some stuff out, but you are not spoiling this. We've gone for years saying it's not a Superman game. We can't have you come out and say, whatever it actually is, right? We cannot do that. And so I mean, that part, again, I just find funny. But the main discussion, what I do want to talk about here for the next little bit, what I want to go into is I truly do believe Rocksteady's game can outshine the other two. And that's, again, what I find so weird about the order and really what people have kind of taken from that report. Obviously everybody jumps to Batman, and I think from me, right, everybody that kind of let me know that he said that in all the different ways that you guys have, and I appreciate every single one of you that tipped me off to these things. Obviously, we're going to go to Batman first, right? Even Harry Potter. Harry Potter's a big thing, and a lot of people are jumping on that. Rocksteady is that quiet one where I feel like because it doesn't have I truly don't even know what to call it. But because Batman has this thing around it and has had this thing around it for, at this point, at almost a full year of like a lot of people are on board, and really multiple years if you go back to Insurgency and you go back to all these other things back in 2018, 2017 even. If you go back to that, like Batman's had some stuff for a while. Harry Potter's had some stuff from 2018. But Rocksteady has still just been ever so quiet. I think that's made it more safe where people don't really get into it. You can't you can speculate, and I have speculated, and I will speculate in the future, what the game will be and all that kind of stuff, but it's just a whole lot harder, and I feel like it keeps them in this quiet place where people are focusing more on the other two versus Rocksteady. But again, as I've said, and I even said this back around Christmas time, where I said 2020 is Rocksteady's year. Okay, it's Rocksteady's year to lose because truly, and the way they're doing it, the main reason I have the problem with announcing all three of these games at the same time is, and I hear you, I've seen people say like, hey, Batman is a big enough property. I get that. And I don't even know really a good way to convey my message here of how to really, say what I'm trying to say, basically. I get it, and I'm not even so much worried about Batman. I just feel like literally from a gaming perspective, Rocksteady's game, I feel like, would take everything from the other two. And I guess that's a hyperbole. I don't literally mean everything. And again, I get it. Harry Potter is literally Harry Potter. It is enormous. And you could argue that game would be the biggest. Batman has been around forever. The Arkham franchise is solid, and it's been out, and people know it. And so it's got that name behind it. Whether or not it's even called Arkham, it's, we've had Arkham games, right? So that game is, and so I'm not saying they're not safe. They are safe. They're all going to do really well. But Rocksteady, it's going to be massive. This is a studio that's made some of the best games of the last couple generations, right? PS3, PS4, or the last two. I know I go to PlayStation that's because I primarily play PlayStation, but the last two generations, they've made some amazing games. Yes, they had major problems with Arkham Knight, but I just feel like, and again, what people always kind of forget about too, or don't talk about again because they're more quiet, is like they've been working on this game for a long time. As long as there's been no delays, as long as there's been no cancelizations, which again, my personal running theory is there has been internal delays with Rocksteady, but like Batman, I believe let's just say this. I think Rocksteady's game has been in the works longer than Harry Potter and Batman. Okay, so I just feel like when that game gets shown off, it's not necessarily a discussion. I don't really want to push the thing. Maybe I'll try to stop it in the future, trying to push like, will it steal the other two's thunder? More or less what I'm trying to say is I believe that game will be the best overall looking and like positivity and what we're all talking about. I feel like it'll be the best one of the three. I truly do. I'm not saying it'll be the most. I think maybe more people would talk about Batman, or more people will talk about Harry Potter. Like, I'm not saying literally the amount of articles or the amount of videos made will, the statistics will answer that. But I do think when we're all said and done, and again, I get it because Harry Potter could just be a trailer. Rocksteady could just be a trailer. Warner Bros. Montreal's Batman game, that could very well be a whole lot more. So that kind of throws things into whack, right? Because how can you really compare it? But I just feel like we may have more confidence, or we may feel good at a higher rate about Rocksteady's game than the other two. It's weird. It's a discussion that I do like having because I do find it so interesting. And it's more also kind of like a fanboyish thing where it's like, I'm pumped for Rocksteady's game. And while these other two, I am equally or more so pumped, I feel like everybody's very quiet. Even the fans, even us fans, I honestly feel like it's because of Batman Arkham. That's the reason. This new Batman game is the reason. Because I think everybody's so focused on that they're not paying attention to Rocksteady as much. They're not anticipating Rocksteady's as much. And again, I'm not saying that's a wrong thing to do, because another thing you have to keep in mind is, when does Rocksteady's game come out? It's going to come out probably like at least a year after this Batman Arkham. Okay, so like I understand that. I understand that games go through cycles, and one game is going to get a lot of press, a lot of eyes on it, and then each game will take its turn. And that's why you release them strategically, how I've always said, and where you actually put them. That's why you do that. And so I do get that. I just find it's going to be cool. It's going to be really cool, because we're going to see all of these games very soon. And I wonder which one will feel the best about. I wonder which one will be more interested in, because we could see Arkham, and if it feels, or I mean looks, but like we'll feel it in our hearts and souls, like just the Arkham game. So we're like, well, like, yeah, it looks amazing, like we're back in the Arkham world. But then, oh my god, Justice League game, and we can all play, you know, like stuff like that, like whatever it is, like it can really steal a lot of people's eyes. And I wonder how much it does. Do people give up on Batman when they see it and they say, yeah, this looks really cool, but you know what? You know what looked cooler? You know what was, caught my eye and has my attention way more? Is this Rocksteady game. I wonder. This is just a pure video of wonder. And I like that word. But I do wonder how all of that stuff is going to play out. And luckily for us, I get that there's this stuff going around the world. I get that there's a lot of fear, a lot of panic. It sucks. Stay safe, stay level-headed. I'm here for you guys. You're all here for each other. We have an amazing community here. I want us to all be there for each other if we ever need it, in Discord, in Twitter, on YouTube, any of that kind of stuff. I do want to make that very, very clear. But I do truly believe we're going to get these games, these announcements, very, very shortly. It could be delayed a little bit, but, one day we're going to get these games, and it's going to be amazing. It's going to be absolutely amazing. So I do want to thank you guys again, as always, for watching these videos, for supporting me. You guys truly, truly rock. I greatly appreciate it. Make sure you guys subscribe to our YouTube channel, Podcast Now. Hit that bell icon so you guys know when these videos go up. And we're just gonna keep on keeping on this channel. We'll be covering anything big that happens. If we hear anything about any of these games, we'll be sure to report on it for you guys. And then once we actually do get these, it's game on. Nothing can stop what's coming, and it's gonna be amazing. Thank you all so much for watching. Hope to see you all in the next video.